Hi guys, how's it going? It's Dragonball AG here, coming to you with another Dokkan Battle video. It looks like we got new news on JP. We got the new Ultimate Gohans dropping as a part of the next festival coming out. Well, I think it comes out tomorrow, really, for August celebration, just before the 350 million downloads. And oh my god, what a unit this Ultimate Gohan is! This definitely does the unit absolutely proud. I mean, all the other Dokkan Festival Gohans have never all been that great, but this one looks absolutely awesome. And it does look like, we're going to get a bit of a power scaling with all the new units, because he just seems to be way more powerful than previous Dokkan Festival TURs. So let's get on with looking at what Ultimate Gohan does. I'll also look at the new Supreme Kai and Kibito that fuse into Kibito Kai, and the new West Supreme Kai. So let's quickly check out the animations that was posted up on the Twitter page first, and let's see how good they actually look, because they are absolutely gorgeous. So let's have a look at these quickly. Here we go. Supreme Kai. Animation. Really great. We've got the Kibito Kai. And that looks so good. Got that. That isn't that great. What you wait till you get the camera. Look at that. It's like watching the anime. Until you see the little Goku pixelated.
素晴らしい救世主を送るのは私に任せてください。バッチリ。ありがとうございます。よし、行くか。
Right, so thanks out. I want to say a shout out to Goresh here for doing the translations over on the Reddit page. So this is what Gohan actually does. His leader skill is Savior's category or Hybrid Saiyan's category, Ki plus 3, HP attack plus 100, HP plus 130%, and attack and defense plus 170%. So obviously there's a brand new category, Savior's category. I don't think it's the greatest category, so it seems to be themed around people who just jump into the battle to save other people just before they're defeated by the main villain. It's not really the greatest of categories that we got there. And then he's also a Hybrid Saiyan boost leader as well. I'm never really that much of a fan of HP being so low. I prefer it to be HP and attack at 170% and defense at 130. Just because HP is a big thing for some of the harder events, it means you just won't get a massive HP boost that you need. But I guess with the link skills upgrade, then you still get extra HP boosts from a lot of link skills nowadays, changing from level 1 to level 10, so you'll get extra HP that way, so it might not be as bad. So his super attack is Z Sword Slash, which we've seen an awesome animation for. So this apparently greatly raises the attack and defense and causes immense damage. So that's good, because it greatly raises attack and defense, and greatly raising attack seems to be a trait with Adult Gohan. But there's no time limit on this, so it's just going to stack. Then we've got his passive skill, which is attack and defense plus 140%. At the start of every turn, gain Ki plus 1, a max Ki of 3, and a guard activated against all attacks. So that's great. As a defensive unit, he's absolutely beastly, because he's automatically defending against, doesn't matter what type you're fighting against, he always will be able to guard, which means he'll do like half damage on the opponent. He also gains an additional attack plus 40% for the turn when guard is activated. So the way this will work means that Gohan will get an extra 40% attack power after he's been attacked. So that means once he's been attacked once, his attack will then go up to attack will go up to 180%, which is just a mind-bogglingly attack stat on top of like some TUR stats. So he's going to be hitting really, really hard before he's even activated his active skill. So his links are Brainiacs, All in the Family, Saiyan Lineage, Cold Judgment, Revival, Power bestowed by God, Feast Battle. So not the best of links, but they're still good links, and especially with the link levels 1 to 10, that means that pretty much all links are significantly better than they were. There's no such thing as a weak link, since they tried to sort of adjust a lot of the links with the link skill update that recently came out. So then he's got his transformation to Ultimate Gohan. It's an active skill rather than a normal transformation, so you kind of can get control when you want to use it. The only conditions is you have to wait 5 turns since the start of the battle before you can transform. Once he transforms into Ultimate Gohan, his super attack changes to Burst Rush, which we also see a great animation for when he was beating Boo up in the earlier video. So this greatly then raises attack, so it means we're dropping the defense start, but we're getting a greatly raised attack for 1 turn and causes immense damage, and with a medium chance to stun. So personally, I think the super attack is actually better on the Z Sword Gohan than this, because you only really raise an attack for 1 turn, and then you're losing that attack buff, and you've only got a medium chance to stun, which is good for things like Super Battle Road, but not so good for things like Legendary Goku event or Dokkan events, where they prevent you from stunning anyway. So it seems a little bit pointless to have that as actually still in the super attack mechanic. Then we've got the passive skill here, which is basically the exact same passive skill, but as what he had as Z-Sword, but instead of it being attacking defense plus 140%, it's attacking defense plus 158%, and then he gains an additional attack plus 58% when the guard is activated. He also has attacks that are effective against all type if there's an enemy and their HP is 58% or above, or if it's a Majin Buu Saga category enemy, was also added on to the passive skill here. So what that basically means, he's going to be hitting for 1.5 times damage against any enemy that has more than a 58% HP, and any enemy who's a Majin Buu Saga category. So you think about that, it doesn't matter what type they are, you're already attacking them for 1.5 times the amount you would normally do. That's a massive stack, an absolute massive increase in power there, on top of potentially like a 216% attack stat. It's crazy, absolutely crazy there. So that's what it is. The categories that the Gohan's on, he's on Saviors, which is a new category introduced to the game. He's on Hybrid Saiyans, Resurrected Warriors, I guess. Well, should he resurrect? He's not come back from the dead, but he's revived by the Supreme, by Kipio guy in the saga, so maybe that makes sense why he's on Resurrected Warriors. Majin Buu Saga makes sense, Goku's family makes sense, Sibling Bond because of Goten. Yep, he's on the Revenge category. Should he be on the Revenge? I guess he's getting revenge for the attacking and Gotenks, and he's on Rapid Growth, which makes sense because he's had his Elder Kai unlock ability to boost his attack. So we go on to the next unit, we'll have a look at it. It's a Realm of Gods category, Ki plus 4 HP attack and defense plus 100%. The super attack for it is the Sacred Light Bullet, greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes supreme damage. Supreme damage isn't that great. Godly Battle, so he gets attack and defense plus 100% when receiving an attack, guard activated against all attacks for the turn. So that means you should also really defensive boosted minded, so you should guard against all attacks. So that's like, that just reducing the damage by half just gives you like a really great buff. It's like basically having a defense plus 200% by doing that. And then we got like Realm of Gods category, and then she also supports all Realm of Gods with giving them attack and defense plus 40% and increasing the chance to perform a critical hit plus 10%. So that's just that's a really great support unit from the Realm of Gods team. She only fits on 3 categories: Realm of Gods, Majin Buu Saga, and Potara. So I'd only really run her probably if you were doing it on a Realm of Gods team, but the Realm of Gods team is so stacked with great units that it's hard to find actually a place for it. I think that would be the biggest problem. So although she's a great support unit for the Realm of Gods category, just try to find a place on such a stacked team with so many great units and LRs. And if you've got, LR Vegito Blue can be on there, LR Gogeta Blue can be on there. So from the 5-year anniversary, it's just too many good units that you probably wouldn't actually run that unit that much. But maybe for a difficult event and you're trying to beat Legendary Goku event with that, the extra support that she gives would be really useful. And then we go on and have a look at the Supreme Kai and Kibito, called Noble Conviction. So they are a leader scales Potara category, Ki plus 4 HP attack and defense plus 100%. So they're kind of like a mini Potara leader. The super attack greatly raises defense for 1 turn and causes supreme damage to the enemy with a high chance to stun. Again, the high chance to stun is great for Super Battle Road, but it's just not that great for Legendary Goku events or any other long events like Infinite Dragon Ball History, where when you get to later stages, you know, you can't stun them or you can't seal super attacks or anything like that. So I don't know why they add that mechanic on there. I would rather they do something else from that, or just, you know, maybe change it to greatly raise the attack and defense for one turn and then cause you supreme damage rather than with a high chance to stun. So his passive skill are Ki +2, attack and defense plus 120%, which is really good. So he's quite self-sufficient, getting an extra Ki +2, and that's a good attack and defense buff. Attacked enemy gets attack and defense down minus 30% for 2 turns. So that's 2 turns they're going down for 30% when you attack them. That means that in the next phase there'll also be an attack and defense down stage for 30% when you're not on rotation with this unit. So when they come back on the rotation, then you get to hit them again. So at all points, if you're using this Supreme Kai and Kibito Kai, that you can actually reduce the opponent's attack by 30%. That is absolutely a really great passive skill. So that means always then you've got an advantage against opponents, making them actually weaker. The drop in the defense by 30% isn't that significant because of, you know, it doesn't seem to make much of a difference when you're fighting really difficult opponents, but the drop in attack stats would be really useful, especially for extreme Super Battle Roads. Because they hit very, very hard, so any chance to anything that can really reduce their attack is a great added bonus. And they also got a high chance to evade enemies' attacks, which is really, really great as well. So I mean as a defensive unit, they're really good. So I would actually be quite tempted for really difficult events like Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road, or the Legendary Goku event, keep this guy on main rotation, even though, you know, he's not probably going to be the hardest hitting unit, but as a unit there to weaken your opponents, then he's really, really good. And he also has this extra boost that he's recovering HP at the end of each turn. So keeping him on rotation means that every second turn at least you're recovering 10% HP, which is just really useful again for longer events where you need to generate HP, and so reduces your need to use items. So his active skill is Fusion, and you'll be able to, your only condition is able to be used during an attacking turn. So an attack when you're attacking, I guess you can use it any time. I'm not really sure exactly what that would mean in practice, so I think you can actually just fuse whenever you like. There's no real restrictions on it. The Vegito guy, so then you fuse with Futari, as we've seen in like the early animation, which is really good. And then we get his super attack when he becomes Kibito Kai is then the Shingiritsu Kai Cannon. I probably totally butcherized that name, so apologies for butchering the name there. So he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes supreme damage and seals super attack. So sealing the super attack, I mean, so that's good that he's greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn, which is an improvement on just greatly raising your defense for 1 turn. It still causes supreme damage, and he seals super attack instead of passive skill here is Ki +3 and attack and defense plus 150%. All enemies attack and defense minus 20% and stun the attacked enemy for 2 turns once only, and then we recover 10% HP at the end of the turn. So a good thing about this is that we're getting an extra 30% in attack and defense, but an extra key to make him even more self-sufficient than before he transforms. The only downside is you are reducing the attack and defense by only minus 20%, and you're not allowing it to use it on the next rotation. It's only for the rotation that he's actually in, which means then you're not getting that reduction in the attack strength of your opponent on the next turn when you're not running this unit in your rotation. And he also has the ability to stun the attacked enemy for 2 turns once only, which there's a really good, you know, stunning them for 2 turns is really, really nice and part of a passive skill. But the big problem you've got here is that you know, a lot of enemies, again, you're unable to stun them, so it becomes a little bit useless at later stages on long events. And then you've got recover 10% HP at the end of turn remains, which is still a really good element of the passive skill there for healing for long, difficult events. The video, guys, if you liked the video, remember to give it a like, and remember to subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me at Twitter at Dragonball AG. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.